All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever sat down at your Mac just to, quickly check a headline or two, and suddenly an entire hour has just completely vanished into this massive doom-scrolling vortex? Yeah, we've all been there. The modern news cycle is, frankly, completely overwhelming. It's constantly competing for your attention. But what if you could actually tame that chaos? What if you could turn it into a focused, personalized research assistant? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to look at how to master a seriously powerful tool that's honestly just sitting right there waiting for you on your Mac. I'm talking about Apple News.
So here's the big question, right? How exactly do you tame the modern news cycle? Well, the secret is shifting from just passive consumption to active curation. Being intentional about the media you consume isn't just about, reading less stuff. It is arguably the ultimate productivity hack. It's about making sure the information you do let in is highly relevant, completely trustworthy, and perfectly organized for your day-to-day workflow.
To get us there, we've got a bit of a power user journey mapped out for today. First, we'll meet your news hub. Second, we're going to curate your Today feed. Third, we'll look at the reading experience. Fourth, exploring Apple News Plus. And finally, we'll wrap up with some pro tips for research.
All right, let's start right at the beginning with Section 1, Meet Your News Hub, the foundation.
Now, if you haven't used it much, you might actually be wondering, wait, where even is this app? Well, you can easily launch it from the dock at the bottom of your screen or dive into your Applications folder. But actually, my absolute favorite way to do this, and honestly the fastest if you're trying to save time, is just hitting Command plus space on your keyboard. That pulls up Spotlight Search. You just type news and boom, you are immediately in the app and ready to roll.
And once you're in, notice how cleanly Apple has structured this visual interface to keep you from getting overwhelmed. It's basically broken down into three super distinct areas. Over on the left, you've got your sidebar. Think of that as your navigation control center. Right there in the middle is the main feed, which is where all the actual content and stories live. And up at the very top, you have the top toolbar. That houses your essential actions, stuff like search, share, and save. It's incredibly simple, very intuitive, and it just gets right out of your way.
Moving right along, let's look at Section 2, Curating Your Today Feed Personalization. The literal second you open the app, you're greeted by this Today tab. You can kind of think of this as your personalized homepage. It serves up top stories, which are those major global headlines handpicked by Apple's editors, right alongside trending stories and personalized picks. Those picks are the ones the app is genuinely curating based on your actual reading habits over time. And yeah, it is an infinite feed, meaning you can just scroll forever if you want to. But our goal today is to make sure what you're scrolling through is tailored exactly to you.
So, how do we actively train this thing to give you what you want? It's a remarkably simple three-step process. First off, just click into that search bar up top. Second, type in literally any topic you care about. Like let's say you're a professional studying digital threats, you type cybersecurity. Or maybe you just want updates on a specific company, like Apple, or even something super local like Nebraska. Third, you just click that little plus sign to follow it. That's it. And honestly, this is where the magic really starts to happen. All those channels and topics you just followed, they neatly stack up right there on your sidebar on the bottom left. The absolute most crucial thing to remember here is that the more channels and topics you follow, the smarter and more heavily personalized your infinite scrolling feed becomes. You're no longer just passively reacting to whatever news is thrown at you. You're effectively building your very own, highly customized daily newspaper.
All right, let's explore Section 3 now, the reading experience, tactile tools. So let's look at what actually happens when you click on an article. Just take a look at this incredibly clean reading layout. It beautifully, and I mean beautifully, strips away all that visual clutter, the annoying pop-ups, the web ads you'd normally get slammed with browsing the internet. Instead, you get this gorgeous, smooth scrolling experience. It's got these large, crisp images, seamlessly embedded videos. It's a reading environment designed strictly for deep, uninterrupted focus.
But listen, it's not just about consuming words, right? It's about what you actually do while you're reading. I like to think of these tools as micro actions that slowly build up your personal database. If you hit the like or that little heart icon, you are instantly sending the algorithm a signal that improves your future recommendations. Hitting save immediately throws the article into your saved section so you can get to it later. And if you find a critical report, like let's say a massive cybersecurity vulnerability you need your team to see right this second, you just hit share to airdrop it, message it, or even kick it straight over into your Notes app.
Which leads us right into Section 4, Exploring Apple News Plus, the upgrade.
Now, if you do decide to subscribe to Apple News Plus, you basically unlock this sheer volume of premium content. And visually, it is stunning.
You get full access to premium magazines like Time and National Geographic, right alongside major daily newspapers like the Wall Street Journal. And the best part is, they aren't just flat, boring text on a screen. They feature these highly interactive, high-resolution, page-flipping layouts. It genuinely makes you feel like you are holding a glossy magazine right there on your Mac.
Finally, let's accelerate our pace a bit and step right into Section 5, Pro Tips for Research, the Masterclass.
Okay, if you are doing rigorous research, maybe it's for work, a creative project, or even a university class, you absolutely must utilize the Saved and History tabs. Bookmarking articles into your saved stories means you can easily batch your reading for later. And here is the absolute best part, hands down. Those saved articles can be read offline without any internet connection. It is literally a game changer for when you're stuck on a flight or commuting on the train. To truly turn yourself into an absolute power user, you've got to try these high-level tactics. First, actively block sources you just don't trust. That keeps your feed totally pristine. Second, share those saved articles directly to Apple Notes so you can highlight text and add your own analytical thoughts. Third, combine this whole flow with your Safari reading list for incredibly comprehensive web research. And lastly, don't just search for broad, kind of vague topics. Use highly specific queries in that search bar, something like Cybersecurity Threats 2026, to pull incredibly targeted data right into your feed.
Oh, and a final, absolutely vital point about focus. Do not let your Mac constantly interrupt you. You can, and you definitely should, control your alerts. By navigating to your Mac's System Settings, then Notifications, and then News, you can customize things so you're only getting pinged from major breaking news or those exact niche topics you explicitly followed earlier. You've got to protect your focus at all costs.
Well, that brings us to our final thought for today. I really want to leave you with this direct question. How will intentional media consumption change your daily workflow? By actually taking the time to curate your topics, leveraging those offline saving features, and carefully protecting your focus from notification overload, you can completely transform this basic built-in app from a passive, chaotic feed into an incredibly sharp, curated research assistant. Seriously, try it out this week and just watch what happens to your productivity. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.